I would like to start off by reading you a short story today from the book The 48 Laws of Power, and the short story in question is called The Nut and the Campanile. Now, FYI, according to Google, a campanile is a tall Italian bell tower. A nut found itself carried by a crow to the top of a tall campanile, and by falling into the crevice, succeeded in escaping its dread fate. It then besought the while to shelter it, by appealing to it by the grace of God, and praising its height and beauty and noble tone of its bells. Alas, it went on, as I have not been able to drop beneath the green branches of my old father, and to lie in the fallow earth covered by its fallen leaves, do you, at least, not abandon me. When I found myself in the beak of the cruel crow, I made a vow that if I escaped, I would end my life in a little hole. At these words, the wall, moved with compassion, was content to shelter the nut in the spot where it had fallen. Within a short time, the nut burst open. Its roots reached in between the crevices of the stones and began to push them apart. Its shoots pressed up towards the sky. They soon rose above the building, and as the twisted roots grew thicker, they began to thrust the walls apart and force the ancient stones from their old places. Then the wall, too late and in vain, bewailed the cause of its destruction, and in the short time, it fell in ruin. By Leonardo Da Vinci. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 10 effective ways of dealing with difficult people, because as the number 10 law in this book states, infection, avoid the unhappy and unlucky. You can die from someone else's misery. Emotional states are as infectious as diseases. Now, I'm not talking about bullies or people that you have close and tight relationships with, such as parents or boyfriends or husbands or siblings. I'm talking about the people that you kind of see every single day and have to interact with or just be in their presence to a certain extent, either at school or in the workplace, like colleagues. Number one, and personally, in my opinion, the hardest, awareness and identification. To quote Albert Einstein, he said, "If I only had 1 hour to save the world, I would use 55 minutes defining the problem and only 5 minutes finding the solution." Take your time, in a nutshell, to find out what's happening. Why am I feeling drained or just anxious? Number two, mere exposure effect. This is a psychological phenomenon where people develop a preference for something that is familiar to them or something that they are exposed to often. Now, a lot of people say, yeah, Anna, but like some people just like to vent and some people just like to belittle others, but you just have to ignore them and it's fine. And just because someone's always negative and just like talks down to me, I don't take it personally. I'm never gonna be like that. Well, here's where it gets dangerous. If you're constantly surrounding yourself with negative, toxic people that treat you badly, negatively, or just use you or manipulate you, your subconscious would register that that is how people should treat you. That is how you deserve to be treated. You won't have that point number one reaction of being aware that that's not okay. Number three, if you don't use it, you lose it. And yes, I'm talking about the V card, your voice. You have one. Communicate. Communication is key, hands down, numero uno, guy and girl, in any relationship or any interaction with any human being. You would be surprised how many people have asked me, like, "Oh, Anna, I have this guy or this girl and they're saying bad things about me. What can I do?" And my response to these comments are usually, did you talk to them? Did you tell them to stop? Did you just legit said, "Hey, when you call me stupid, I feel less of a human being. Please stop." And you'd be surprised, but a lot of people say like, no, like, I'm just gonna ignore it. Like, I'm not gonna talk to them. Like, just, I don't like confrontation. I just, I'm just gonna be like, stop. Talk, say something. Oh my God, that hurt. But like, say stop, say no. Moving on, emotional management and reactivity. We can't control how others behave towards us, but we can 100% control how we react to other people's actions. You can look up emotional intelligence, and I plan on doing an entire video on that topic, so keep your eyes out for that. Number 5, and this is something that I learned the hard way, and it took me like 26 years to learn this. Don't take it personally. Oftentimes, what people do to other people is more of a reflection of who they are than a reflection of who you are. My best advice to you is to listen with the intent to understand and question versus with the intent to react and respond. Number 6, defense mechanism. Now, as I previously mentioned, when someone says something not necessarily to attack you, but something that you're like not comfortable with or is not true, don't get defensive. When you just defend or just jump and bark back, it kind of gives off the impression that you agree with what was said, or that is a weak point, that, someone like poked you where it hurt type of thing, which in my opinion you should never give off. Number 7, questions, the ultimate secret weapon. A lot of people get caught off guard when you question what they say or how they behave. So if you find yourself in a situation when someone's just like, wow, yeah, you're stupid, like Anna's stupid, ask, why did you say that? Usually, a person that was just trying to hurt you would be like, well, because you are. Point. Checkmate. You win. Don't listen to them. Number 8, records and archives. This is just in case you are at work and a colleague is particularly either manipulative or somewhat borderline abusive. I highly recommend that you document every interaction or as many interactions or events or just communications that you've had with this problematic person as you can, just so you can have a solid document and proof of what they're doing and how they're treating you, just in case you need to bring it up with HR, human resources, or with a supervisor. Chances are toxic people in your environment, so at school or at work, have a tendency to just like take you and isolate you. Let's say you're with someone that loves to gossip, and just because you, number 1, don't use your V card, your voice, and say like, yo, stop, that ain't cool, or if you just blatantly don't care and just agree with them and just go along with their gossip, like Jessica was looking horrible today, and you're like, yeah, she was, yeah, okay, yeah, she was, okay, yeah, oh yeah, she's so like that, the person that you're giving this positive reinforcement to is going to want to hang on to you because you kind of become their buddy. So they tend to isolate you, and then you get more exposed to that negative, toxic person just because you don't know anyone else. And it's hard to reach out to other people, and it's hard to make new friends and just go out there, especially when you have a toxic, difficult person holding you back and be like, no, I heard that thing about that person, don't talk to them, no, come here. Break that, you are nobody's possession, go make friends, go socialize, go talk to other people, and have numbers in your favor. Have friends, don't isolate yourself, talk about it, get out there, get engaged, and remember, a stranger is someone you haven't said hello to. Finally, number 10, the red one. This is based on Carl Jung's The Red Book. For those of you that read it, let me know, because it's very rare that people know about it. But basically in his book, he just tells and writes down his dreams. And in his dream, he said that he met a red figure. And I quote after that, he said, I believed that the red one was the devil, but he was my devil. And I interpreted this as Know yourself. Accept yourself. Your flaws, your qualities, things you might not be so proud of. Forgive yourself. Know your weaknesses. Know your worst points. Know everything about you and accept yourself and be okay with yourself, because when you're at that point in your life of acceptance and of knowing of the self, no one can tear you apart. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe to me if you like what you see, because I post videos every Thursday. Thank you again. You guys are awesome. Bye.